was a graduate with a bachelor's degree in economics. And so when you understand the makeup of what really is going on, we've spent too much on the credit card and there's no more credit left. It's all gone. And so you have to understand, if you're an elite person, the people who run the world, those are the people who are behind the governments that pull all the purse strings, basically. This system is ready to crash. Whether they want to keep it going or not, it's about ready to crash. So if you're the elite, and then everybody's starting to be educated about the bankers and the elite because they're all connected together in the media, you have to understand that if it goes down, and it's primed to go down. I mean, all the indications, all the indicators are there. If that goes down, you're going to be in trouble. They're going to, it's the population with pitchforks are going to come after the people who are bankers and the elite behind them. And so there has to be some type of convenient thing that could be blamed on the reason why the economy, the worldwide economy, goes down. And that has to do with it's got to be a world war, or it's got to be something like a virus pandemic. And so how convenient that we have a pandemic. And by the way, if you look at all these different pandemics that's been out there, if you do enough research, you'll find out they're patented. Well, what does that mean if they're patented? Well, it means that they're man-made. So this was done by man. It was designed that way. In this case, by the way, all the research that I've done on this, they're blowing it way, way, way out of proportion. This isn't nearly as bad as what the press is telling you. They're trying to keep us in fear mode. Why would they want to keep us in fear mode? Because in fear, our immune systems go down. And remember I told you about the quantum field. That's our genie in a bottle. If we're in fear mode and we're thinking fear, guess what? The quantum field gives us more things to be fearful for. And so what we need to do is have a paradigm shift, and we need to explain to people what it is that we have to get us out of this mode, okay? Now, we have a tremendous opportunity here. Now, there are those who would feel that, okay, I just lost my job along with millions of others and millions more. Geez, I can't afford to do this. Well, you can't afford not to do it, okay? Just go ahead and understand what this, when we're going to get into the reasons why you need to have this, but nevertheless, you need to be able to share this kind of technology with others for a couple of reasons. First of all, for your own health, for your own wellness, for your loved ones and friends. And at the same time, as you do this with passionate enthusiasm, you have an opportunity to build an organization. And with that organization comes the ability for you to earn significant income. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. I wanted to share with you something that happened to me today, okay, just before the call. So that's the reason why it's so fresh in my mind.
Nice.
We do things here where we can do what's called voice-activated spark scans. Now, a voice-activated spark scan is this technology. It has the ability to have your body interface with this system. Now, what is this system? The system is a virtual library of health products, wellness products. And it's even far beyond what you would see in a traditional health food store, which are your botanicals and such, and vitamins and minerals and probiotics and enzymes, antioxidants, all those kind of standard things. Okay, but this goes far beyond. It goes into energy things like, for example, electromagnetics. We know, and I can tell you this if you don't know, that there's a lot of studies done for decades now that show that electromagnetics have a negative effect on biology. Okay, and it's even getting worse as time goes on because of the higher technology. We have things that traditionally have not been identified. Just think, they have the ability of your body to walk into a health food store and say, here you are, there's a health food store in your neighborhood, you own it for $100 a month. You can do anything you want to do in that health food store, and you can have anything that you want, but it's given to you in a different form. In fact, I believe it's in a more efficient form, and I'll discuss that later too. So here you walk into the store, and you basically say, okay, I think I need some of this, that, and that. You don't know if your body wants that. It's just you're thinking that. Or maybe you read something that has some value. How would you like to know for sure? How would you like to know for sure that your body needs something in here, or a combination of things, that it would make it better, that would bring it back into balance, to bring it back into wellness? Well, this technology does that. It's called voice-activated spark scan. Okay, that's, it has other names, but it's a voice scan. And what it is, you talk into the computer system for about 10 seconds. It analyzes, it knows who you are, it gets the inflection of your voice and its frequency. And from that, it determines a lot of things. One of the things that it determines, it interfaces this you now into, it's like pulling you into, how the kids play the video games and everything? It like pulls you into the video game with it. It says, okay, now you're into the matrix here, and now your body's going to select from this virtual health food store exactly what it needs and wants to bring it back into balance. That is amazing technology. But more importantly, it's phenomenal in what it does. So what I wanted to share with you, I did mine this morning, okay, about an hour ago, and it was time for mine to happen. So I did one. And if I remember, let me see, this has been the third cycle every 10 days. I went ahead, the first time I did this, when Dr. Cook incorporated new ingredients in, because it's being expanded every month. So we have these new ingredients coming into the virtual health food store, and a line of electromagnetic ingredients, things like 4G, 5G, broadband, microwave, anything that do electromagnetics, radio wave, microwaves, infrared rays, gamma rays, X-rays, all these things are electromagnetics, and they have a negative impact on the body. So about 3 weeks ago, more than that, a month ago, I did my first one, and I had a hit that said 4G, 92%. Now that's a high percentage. What that means is I am impacted by 4G. In other words, my body's saying you've got 4G hitting you, and we don't like it. Okay, or my cells are basically saying, hey, we don't like this. That's not good for you. Okay, why can that happen? Well, probably this guy here. Okay, that's a modern phone. Okay, and it's a
modern 4G.
It's a new one. It's a Samsung 10s Plus or whatever. It's pretty new. It's only less than a year old, and it's operating in 4G. 5G coming. So I'm on this all the time, as you can imagine. I get calls all day and so on and so forth. And so I'm on this all the time. I've learned to not speak like this. I put it on speakerphone and hold it out in front of me. They can hear me. And so it's lesser influence. But here's what happened. The first time I ran this, it came up 92% 4G. So I selected that. Now, what a homeopathic on 4G does, it says, okay, your body's saying it's being impacted by this. We're going to give you the antidote to stop it. And that's when you select that thing, it's the antidote. And it's basically saying, okay, we're going to stop that 4G from affecting your body. So 10 days later, when I reran my Spark scan again out of the library, and this is one of many, of course, but the 4G went down to 80%. Okay, 80%. I thought, okay, it's headed in the right direction. That's a good thing. So now the third cycle, which was this morning, an hour ago, I ran the third cycle 10 days apart. And guess where it came in at? It came in at 42%. Okay. Now, in fact, I could copy these screens and show them to you. But nevertheless, what that tells me is it's fallen off the radar. So it doesn't have the impact to my body anymore because this technology is stopping it. Now, it had that percentage gone from 92% up to 98%, it would tell me, hey, this isn't working. Okay, but it didn't. It went the other direction, and it can continue to go the other direction. This is the way the Spark Scan technology works. For example, I have one of the things that I'm going to have a conversation with someone, in your organization, Daniel Butts, a group in his company, in his group.
Yes.
He has some health challenges. And I'm going to be talking to him later today. And I wanted to share something with you about this because I have a lot of experience on this. Guys, for 30 years, I do research 3 to 4 hours a day. Most days. There's some days I get caught up in other things, but most days I engage in that. And that's normally in the wee hours in the morning because that's when it's quiet. And it's because initially it's been for myself. When I was a young man, when I say young, a lot younger than I am now, in the 20s and 30s, I had really poor health. I mean, death health where I didn't think I was going to live. And when I spent over 10 years in the medical profession, before I knew anything about health and nutrition, I learned one thing. They didn't have solutions. They didn't have the answer. And all the modern things and technology, they just couldn't figure out what's going on. I got one guy that got him a little bit close, but he still didn't have solutions. Okay, so I found out as I went down this path to alternative health that I had the ability to maybe correct this myself. And as I went further down that path, after 12 years of losing my health, I mean really losing it bad, I was able to heal myself. And it caused me to be in the place I am today, talking to you, because I spent the rest of my life doing research on this because I was so fascinated by it. That the fact that we can actually heal our bodies. Now, that's in the botanical world. That's in the world where we're taking botanicals. Botanicals are powerful, and we can use those to heal our bodies. And there's something else that's happened over the next 30 years that's been problematic and making those botanical solutions less effective. Okay, and what that is, over the last 30 years, we have been bombarded by pollution, by toxins in every form, in the air, in our water, in our food, in our supplements. Okay, all these things are affecting us. And what that does, toxins create inflammation, toxins block micronutrients from assimilating at the cellular level through a process called receptor handshakes. And so what's happening, even though we may think we're doing the right thing, and eating good food and taking supplements off, we're still not having good health. We're still not functioning on all 8 cylinders simply because that handshake isn't taking place, because toxins block the nutrient botanical biochemicals. And so at the end of the day, our health isn't where it needs to be, and we're failing. And by the way, you know, you could get me on my conspiracy side. I believe this is by design, but never because for population control. But nevertheless, at the end of the day, it affects all of us. So what are solutions to this? I mean, when you take a look at what Dr. Cook has put together here. Now, I'm a distributor of Olympic art, just like you guys. Okay, I happened to be the first one. That's the difference. And I happen to work with Dr. Cook and going through all that stuff. We have different educations. Okay, Dr. Cook is very brilliant in orchestrating and putting this model together. But I come up from a place that gives, for me, credibility to what he's done, because I've spent my whole life in biology and chemistry. I'm a trained hypnotherapist. And what does that mean? Well, it means that I've trained in how the conscious mind interacts with the subconscious mind. That's a big component of this. And then I go into the quantum physics, because quantum physics is the mysterious side of our reality that we're learning more about, but we didn't know 30 years ago, okay? But it's phenomenal. And Dr. Cook has incorporated all these components in this model with one last thing, and that is biofeedback. And the biofeedback is the ability for our body to communicate in this field, in this quantum realm, and help us solve these problems. And see, now, what gave it away to me when I first started talking to Dr. Cook, and I brought this up many times because it's so pertinent, and that is the fact that Dr. Cook shared with me that story about the young lady in his lab that was suffering from scurvy symptoms. And now, those of you who don't know, scurvy is a deficiency in vitamin C. So when he looked at her diet, he found that her diet was, she had plenty of vitamin C enriched foods. She was even taking vitamin C supplements. So how is it that she can have scurvy symptoms? Well, when he provided her, because it looked like she still needed vitamin C somehow. So he provided her the energy information of vitamin C. Now that's what we're going to talk about. How effective is that, and how does that compare to biochemicals? Okay, so he gave her the energy information of vitamin C, and very shortly her symptoms disappeared. Okay, now that's significant. What that tells me and reinforces for me in connecting the dots is that we truly are affected by the toxins in our environment, in our food, in our water, in our air, in our supplements, and everything, and drugs and everything else that's blocking receptor activity. And in her case, I'm pretty sure that her vitamin C receptors were blocked and she wasn't getting it. So at the end of the day, over a period of time, as that happens, then an illness or disease will manifest. And that's not me saying this. Is Dr. Linus Pauling saying this. Who's a Nobel Prize winner. Now, having said that, what we have is the ability to provide information. This is called energy information to the body. And why is that important? The reason why I believe it's important is because many of us are loaded with toxins, and we don't know which toxins, we don't know which receptors are being blocked, but over a period of time, it will manifest in an illness and disease because there are certain micronutrients and nutrients that you're not receiving. It will manifest in the illness and disease because Dr. Linus Pauling says, anytime you go for any extended period of time without correct nutrients in the body, it always manifests in an illness or disease. Now, scurvy is an example of that, a deficiency of vitamin C. Rickets would be an example of deficiency in vitamin D, and so on and so forth. So that's a component of what's happening. Now, with Limbic Arc, because we're providing the information, energy is not physical. It's the same information associated with the phytochemicals associated in a botanical. So Dr. Cook has learned how to harvest, if you will, the information component of a botanical, okay, from a botanical ingredient, and then provide that back to you, and your body handshakes with that. And the reason why I think it's so effective is because it's energy, it's invisible, there's nothing physical to block it, therefore the body receives it. Now, what I don't know, and I can only speculate on, is what is that pathway? Is the pathway of the information going to the receptor? In the physical receptor would be blocked by toxins, where this would go through it because it's not physical, it handshakes, body gets what it needs, brings the hologram back into balance. Or does it go directly and bypasses that and comes right into our energy system, into our hologram? Now, some of you who just heard the word hologram, what's that about? Well, we're holograms. Science now and testing shows that our bodies and everything in our whole reality acts like holograms. So that would make us holograms. And so it makes sense when you break down our physical reality, which is not physical, by the way, it just appears to be physical because of human programming, human DNA, and also our five senses. So we interpret the energiness in our physical reality as physical, when in fact it's all energy, interpretation by programs. And so at the end of the day, when you break down everything that's physical, including the botanicals, including the food, including anything, you break it down to its lowest common denominator of what it's made up of. And that's the study of quantum physics. What is the building blocks of physical reality? Okay, well, guess what? It's not physical at all. It's subatomic particles, it's energy, and it has information contained in it. So we are beings, we're holographic beings that appear to be physical, and we are harvesting out of our environment information that through the physical biochemical pathway happens to be digestion, going to the circulatory system, handshaking at cellular receptors, if everything's working properly. But guess what? It is not working properly. Okay, it's not working properly. It's being blocked by toxins. It's being blocked by pharmaceutical drugs. It's being blocked by inflammation of the cells. It's being blocked by nutrient competition. It's being blocked by all the toxins in our environment. Tens of thousands in our food processing industry, thousands in spraying on the fields and chemicals in our foods, the chemicals in our waters, the fluorides, the chlorines, the PCBs, even things that we breathe in the air from aluminum. And by the way, in our country, we have the highest concentration of aluminum in people in any other country. And the only source of that can be is from chemtrails, okay? And now we know from government reports, they've of course lied to us forever, and now they're coming out and saying, hey, we're spraying aluminum with other things, mercury and stuff, into the chemtrails for geoengineering. Well, it's because they got caught, because scientists now caught this stuff. They've broken it apart and discovered that, okay, there it is, it's there. And it affects us negatively. At the end of the day, all these things affect our health. And we do not have the ability, just normal living beings, if we were a part of normal society, then what's really going to happen here is we're not going to be healthy. We're not going to be strong. We're not going to live to our healthy potential. Now we have, I believe, a system, a technology that allows us to walk through this minefield. Hey guys, someone has an open mic there that's causing a lot of problems. Nye, you have your mic on. You have a lot of background noise. We're doing that. So in any event, just wanted to let you know that I believe we have a solution here. Why do we have a solution? First of all, through the Dr. Cook's model, the biofeedback component that we have allows, first of all, our body, which is pure intelligence, okay, identify specifically what it needs to be because it's out of balance. And it's out of balance for a whole bunch of reasons. There's a lot of stressors in our life. You know, there's so many things that can affect our health. We have you know, lack of exercise. We have you know, poor diets. We have, you know, stress in our lives everywhere. Okay, lack of sleep can hurt us. People who smoke, you know, we're breathing dirty air. We're drinking dirty water, and we have dirty food. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you is that when you look at all the things going on in the news lately about, let's say, the coronavirus, and it doesn't matter what name we attach to it, it's a virus. And by the way, so that you know, all of us have viruses in us. Okay, in fact, trillions of viruses in us based on new research. And if you look at even the affected areas of the world where coronavirus seems to be killing most people, like Wuhan, China, and Italy, you find out what you know, they give us a number of, like, you know, there's 10,000 people affected, and, you know, in 1,000 deaths, or whatever the numbers are. Why doesn't everybody die? And anybody who gets affected, why doesn't everybody die? Okay, if this is a virus that the virus kills you, then everybody who gets affected should die, right? Well, it's not true. The viruses do not kill you. What kills you is an immune system not running on all 8 cylinders. And the more depressed it is, the more it will affect you negatively. And that's what we're about here. We are here not to provide a solution that's associated with any illness or disease. We don't want to even get into that. We want to provide you a new tool that we believe is more effective in providing the body what it needs to bring it back into balance, disregarding any disease. If your immune system is running on all 8 cylinders perfectly, okay, you're going to be immune from all this stuff. And so what Dr. Cook has put together here is the ability for your body to communicate intelligently to a system, a virtual library, with all the recorded information associated with the botanicals and other things that are outside that realm. And your body selects it knows exactly what it wants and needs to bring it back into balance. And so that's what we have. We have something that is so phenomenal. And here's one other thing. When you look at what's happening in the news now, and all the programming, all this fear porn, and all this stuff. Fear, like I said, is what keeps a person. If you're fearful, okay, it does 2 things. First of all, it puts you under stress. It deactivates your immune system. So your immune response is going to be less than 100% when you're in fear mode. And also, you send a message to the quantum realm that you like this fear. If you're emoting fear, the quantum realm gives you more situations to create more fear, because that's the way it works. So what we've learned through quantum physics is that the physical, or the quantum realm is like, think of the quantum realm as you found this genie in a bottle. And in this genie in a bottle, you're allowed to make wishes. You're allowed to communicate with it, and the genie gives you what you want. So the quantum world is a gift if you understand really what it isn't as spooky as we think. The Einstein called it spooky science, but it's because we're learning more about the quantum realm. And so what the quantum realm is, a servant, I look at it as a servant. If you say the right things and emote, and it all is how we think. If you emote the right thoughts, the quantum world will deliver that to you. Now, I saw in one of the pictures here, Mansa put a picture of, looks like a Ferrari or a Lotus, a car out there. Now, let's say that Mansa wants that Ferrari. Let's say that he wants that, but he doesn't have it yet. You see, the best way to do that is have a picture up and imagine yourself owning that car and driving it down the coast highway. And you do that all the time. You're enjoying it before it's there, okay? The quantum world looks at that and says, oh, this person thinks he's got a Ferrari driving down the coast highway. Okay, we better make that happen. And the quantum world puts together the building blocks of material to make that happen. See, the way it works is your intelligent thought actually creates and acts upon electrons and photons, okay, and actually materializes based on our intelligence. It has to focus and act on intelligence. We are the intelligence. We are the soul intelligence that's having an experience in a holographic body, okay? And so that's really what's going on here. And if you focus on fear, the quantum realm is going to give you more fear experiences. If you focus on victimhood, the quantum realm will give you more victimhood experiences. So if you want to have a wonderful life and you want to be healthy, you want to be strong, you want to focus on the thoughts that you're already enjoying that health, even though you're not. You just believe that I have this perfect health, I have this perfect body, I this great Ferrari I'm driving down the coast, whatever it is that you want. Or if it's abundance and prosperity, you're already enjoying it and you see yourself enjoying an abundant life because you have this income to do that. That is how the quantum world works. Now, what Dr. Cook put together here in this model, I call it quantum science for dummies, okay? Because it allows the average guy in the street to participate in this reality without going into the research and all the things you have and what to do to make this thing work. And he started with the basics. Basics are nutraceuticals. And then now he's moved into the electromagnetics realm, which is phenomenal. You'll never find an electromagnetic solution in a health food store. And then you take a look at other advantages. For example, this is where I want to get back to. That is, let's take a look at fungus and molds. Now, most people don't understand that fungus molds impact statistically about 60 million people in the United States alone. That's a big chunk of the population. And their poor health and their mystery aches and pains and problems. How do I know this? Because I got caught up into it. I understood it years ago, discovered that was the culprit, okay? And as I talk to so many people around the world and in our country and even relatives, I can see the same kind of things playing out. And now we have a tool with Dr. Cook's system that if you have an exposure that's affecting your health negatively, it's going to come up, and in the 24 fungus and mold ingredients he has in there, it will identify 1 or 2 or 3 of those, put a number on it in terms of importance, and then you need to select those because it'll start blocking that in your life. You'll start seeing your life and your health start turning around. Now, sometimes I experienced in the first few 2-3 days that you don't feel as good and even worse. But if you stick to it, after that first period of time, you start getting better and better and better because the body is making an adjustment. The physical body is adjusting because the hologram is already adjusting in advance. So the hologram adjusts first because the information is provided to it, and then the biology follows. So those are the things that we have such a tremendous tool here to help us do this. Now, at the end of the day, and I'm going to turn some time back over to you guys. At the end of the day here, we have the ability to share this with many. Take a look at all the people right now who are negatively affected by the stuff that's happening. We're shutting down states and cities and schools and businesses all over the place. Tens of millions of people are affected, and many millions of people are losing their jobs. This is not good. We stay in this mode. This is 10 times worse than having exposure to the virus. And of course, my opinion in all this is the virus is not as bad as, I think it's contagious, but it's not as bad as what you're saying. And Dr. Cook recently put together called Today's Immunity. Today's Immunity is a viral formula, antiviral formula, that helps you cope with it if you get exposed to this and builds, again, the immune system. Why it's called Today's Immunity is because today your immunity is being attacked by pathogens, okay? Well, you know, the immune system can be attacked by a lot of things, but today it's attacked by pathogens, microbes, bacteria, fungus, virus. And these botanicals have been historically used for hundreds and even thousands of years in successful use of helping people resolve those issues. When we've put together this formula, it's with the intent it's going to have benefit because you're receiving the information from that into your body, and your body's correcting the hologram and reinforcing the hologram. So if you're attacked by this kind of stuff, you're going to have a much better chance of solving this problem and resolving it. So that's the way this is designed. It's a phenomenal system. And everybody needs to be doing this. Everybody needs to have this as part of their medicine cabinet. And, you know, the neat thing about this has already been understood. People could, in sharing this with people, you can make money doing this. Look at the people who have lost their jobs. Now, you could take a look at this and say, oh, geez, I've lost my job. And I'm a member of the company. I think I'll go ahead and stop this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I can't afford it. I lost my job. Well, that isn't the way you think. That's a victimhood thinking. Okay, go ahead and share this with others. First of all, it's going to pay for mine. I'll get it for free, but I'll build this. It's going to generate an income for me. So it's going to be better. I'm going to be better off than I was before, not only financially, but I'm going to be better off because my health is going to improve. And every time you do a voice-activated spark scan, it's getting you closer and closer to solving the problems. Now, we all have our testimonies. I have mine too. I mean, I had asthma for years, getting worse for over a decade. And today I do not have any of those symptoms whatsoever. This year, in the last, I can't remember how many years, is the first year everybody in my family, my wife, my children, my grandchildren, everybody around me got sick. And I always get sick from it. This year, I never got the flu. And so I attribute this. The only thing different in my life is this. This voice scan is phenomenal. Now, it took me 3.5 months using it before I saw the relationship between my health improving to where I didn't have asthma anymore. And I mean, I don't have any of the symptoms. I don't have the pressure in my chest. I don't have the coughing, like I was coughing nonstop all the time. Every 10 seconds, okay, it's gone. I don't have the shortness of breath. I mean, I didn't have no shortness of breath at all, even when I exercise or anything. And so look at that. No, I would be, if I was contacted by the coronavirus, because of my age and having a respiratory element, man, I'd be a dead duck based on what the media is saying. Okay, so here I am with a phenomenal product that has changed my life, and also I'm not doing too bad making money with it too. So in any event, guys, we have something here phenomenal to share with the world. So I'm going to turn the time back over to you guys.
Thank you so much, Ron Spence. That was so phenomenal. Everybody got some value out of that, I'm sure. I see the chats blowing up, people saying, oh my gosh, so powerful. And that's what we're here to do, give you guys this value, let you guys know not to worry about what we got going on. And, you know, what situation that we're in right now is, I believe, is temporary, you know. So any questions for Ron? Anyone? Unmute your lines. I'm going to go ahead and allow you guys to mute your lines, unmute your lines. It seems like Matthew has a question. Go ahead, Matthew.
Hey, Ron, I know this was a while ago that I asked you about it, but what, I remember, like, I keep having the X-ray pop up on my imponderables, and I'm just wondering why that keeps popping up.
Well, I would suspect it's because that lightning bolt coming out of your ear there.
Might be.
Oh my God.
What I would let me see. First of all, what's the percentage? Where is it going from where to where?
The percentage is going down. I think when I first saw it, it was like at I think it was at 75%. Now it's gone down to like, I think 70.
Okay. Well, you say first of all, that's a lower number. So you're at the border end of it. I see anything at 70 and above would be worth looking at. Okay. Anything below 70, it's not going to impact you as much. And so you're going to start seeing that. Like in my case, I originally had X-ray came up in mine. It came up at 86%. And when I did mine the first time, the next time I recycled 10 days later, it dropped off the radar. It was down in the 50s or something like that. Okay. And understand that you think, well, how does someone affected by X-ray? Well, we all have probably had X-rays in our lives. I know I have. And you go into the dentist. 10 years ago, when they did X-rays on my chest to find what was going on there, determined I had asthma. That was probably some pretty serious X-rays going on there. Well, about a month ago, I came across some science from, these were NASA scientists. They basically said that electromagnetics can be imprinted, even though it happened years ago. Electromagnetics can be imprinted in your body in the liquid component of your makeup. It's like you can take frequencies and imprint it in water, and they stay there, and it changes the water. Okay, so in any event, what we want to do is be able to, because we know that it's imprinted there, we want to be able to go ahead and get rid of it. And what this stuff does, it stops it from having negative impact on our biology.
Okay, thanks. That's what I was wondering, because it keeps popping up. So, okay, great. Thanks for clarifying that.
You bet.
So you said it's in the liquid, in your body, liquid components?
Yeah, exactly. Doc, this makes sense to me because if you ever read Dr. Emoto's science, he's the doctor in Japan that actually takes thoughts, emotions, and this is another way to prove how energy information impacts our body. What he's done, and to show that it's real, what he did is he takes things like emotions like love or anger or whatever it might be. He probably could take a botanical, I suspect, and he emotes that into the water. Okay, now he'll take a picture of the water, he freezes it, he looks at it under a microscope, and it shows a certain crystalline pattern, like a snowflake. Some of them are just gorgeous; they're made of crystal and everything. But you'll find out that, for example, crystalline a snowflake of love, for example, is beautiful. Crystalline snowflake of hate, not so beautiful. It looks ugly. Okay, and it's the same water. I say the same thing happens in our body. If you are stressed out and you have people around you who are negative or doing all kind of things, or X-ray, okay, that can be imprinted in the liquid component of your body and continue to stay there and impact your health. People don't even know this is happening. So what we have with the voice activating spark scan is the ability to neutralize that and send it packing, okay, and get rid of it out of our lives. So this is the reason why Dr. Cook's model here, how he's done this, is something that everybody needs to be running on a regular, at least 8 to 10 day basis.
Thanks for that, Ron. Also, for a good friend of mine, Jay Swag, we requested to get that kidney formula for you.
You bet. I have it here. I mean, I need to send it to you. Remember the text I sent you? As soon as you have that website out, I'll send it to you. with all the other formulas that we want to transfer over.
Okay, cool. So if you could send me an email so I can get that over to him right away. I know he's been on the edge of his seat waiting for that. So
okay. Just for
what he's taken care of.
Okay.
Mansa, if you could send that over to me too, that'd be great, because I got a friend that I'm going to talk to today that would definitely benefit from the kidney formula.
Tell him I have his $10.
All right.
No, so when we talk about for these kind of formulas, our intent is to bring the body back into balance. We're not diagnosing, prescribing. What we're doing is basically, when it says kidney, these are nutraceuticals, botanicals that have used historically that have benefit. These are physicians and doctors, healthcare practitioners, who have put together their own private formulas that have been successful in helping resolve and help improve that situation. So we just get as much of that stuff as we can, put it into energy form, information form, and provide it back to you. Why I think it's advantageous is because we always know we have blockages in our body that can block botanicals, but in the information energy form, there's nothing physical. It's physical. I mean, our energy information is non-physical, so it can't be blocked. So we think it's a better handshake to be able to bring the body back into a balance.
All right, cool. So we have one more question. I think Malik Amir, you're on.
Yeah, so just a question for you, Ron. There was a lady that asked me today, she's using the technology and she's doing a custom spark scan, and she wanted to know, why do we run a custom spark scan for 10 days continuously rather than doing a new spark every 24 hours so that we can get, you know, the ingredients that our body is asking for on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, because it takes the best time to make a biology change. When you take the information into the hologram, it takes 8 days for the body to go through a complete cycle of, and this is a more complex thing, I can't answer that. Dr. Cook's done a great job on it before. It takes for the body to complete a complete cycle to where you're ready now for the next hologram change. If you do anything less than that, you're denying your body's the ability to make the complete change. You're going to get part benefit. If you do it daily, you're just going to get part benefit of that original boost.
Excuse me, this is Desiree. How's everybody?
Doing
Good.
great.
Hey,
I can attest to what you just said, Ron, because I started on the stem cell info boost, and I did the spark scan, and I have noticed my body going through different changes, and I felt different aches and pains and different things like that I wasn't feeling before. So for it to run for 10 days, that's the best thing that you can do, is allow it to run for 10 days or up to 14 days. It's your
Right.
choice. But for me, I chose 14 days. I've been going through the process for like 4 days now, so I've got like 10 more days. And I can literally feel my body changing. It's going through something.
Yep. You
So
know,
to
wow.
answer,
a real
Sorry.
good, Desiree, a real good example of that, and I can speak from personal example, when Dr. Cook came up with the today's immunity. Now that formula, I think it's got like 24, 25 ingredients. Most of the ingredients in there are heavyweights. These are, any one botanical by themselves is very strong. And then if you were to take all these at once and understand, this is to actually balance and normalize pathogens in the body. Pathogens take the form of fungus and bacteria and viruses, and we all have that going on in the body. The pathogens are the anaerobic versions of the bad guys trying to hurt us. And so what these botanicals historically have been used for is to help. It's like another immune system. So your immune system is designed to do that as well. However, if it's overloaded, it can't do as good a job. Where if you have some botanicals in there helping the immune system take out the bad boys, then it works a lot better. So when you take a new formula like this and you use the whole thing, there's so many bad nutraceuticals in there, botanicals, that are so powerful that it's going to, everybody has pathogens going on in the body. And this might take it out really fast and hurt and kill them. Well, your body sometimes doesn't have the ability to get rid of it fast enough. So for the first day or 2 or 3, you might go through some experiences that you don't feel well, okay? And it's because your body's adjusting. And so if you did an info boost, a spark scan every day, you're never going to get the benefit of solving this problem. That's the reason why the 10 days, I like 10 days. You can go 14, but 8, Dr. Cook says 8 is the minimum you want to go to get the full cycle completed.
Yeah, I've been running mine for 14 days, and I've been feeling amazing. So I can't lie. Yesterday, I don't know, it started raining yesterday out here in the Bay Area, and I just started feeling a little asthma creep in, just a tiny bit. And then immediately I had Calm on. I had left Calm on for like 2 days, and I had turned on Immune. And boy, do I tell you, right when I turned on Immune, about 10 minutes, everything was feeling real clear all over again. So,
hey Mansa, I wanted to share something with you. And for all those who have asthma, or for all those who have ringing in their head, these are a great percentage of this, I believe, based on my research. What I'm saying, can be impacted by, there's a lot of reasons why these can happen, but I think a major impact is based on being influenced by fungus and molds, okay? So in any of your spark scans, if you have, it's one of these names that come up you can't pronounce because they're long names, and you click on it to find out what it is, and if it says, if it's a fungus or a mold, understand that that can have a negative impact on asthma, people have ringing in their head. And so these are phenomenal advantages we have. First of all, just to identify this stuff in the first place. Now, for me, I know that's always something I've always had to struggle with. And when I do my voice scans, I have some of that stuff come up. But every time that, for example, the last voice scan I did was Aspergillus niger, which is, it's an impact with Candida, okay? Well, the next time I did my voice scan, 8-10 days later, it dropped off the radar. It's not even, it's gone, okay? But I have two other ones that lower down that's being exposed. So I'm hoping when I get through that, I'll see an impact there. And see, each time it's
That's
cleaning
popped
up
up on me
things.
too just recently.
Okay, and so I've discovered there's a high propensity of people who have asthma and ringing in their ears is because of a fungus or mold. And statistics show that 60 million people in our country are impacted by this and don't even know it. And it's these mysterious, and for most people, it comes up with these mysterious illnesses that the docs can't even identify what's going on. Okay, for me, for example, 10 years of my life that I lost when I was younger, it was associated, and I connected the dots and traced it to this with an infestation of that category that nobody could figure out what was going on. And now if I had this technology back then with Dr. Cook, I wouldn't have to lost 10 years of my life of it being poor health. And so we have something here, like he says, it's the most amazing technology I've ever come across in my entire life.
Hi team, Connie here. Could I share what was really strong in my mind to share with you guys this morning?
Good.
This is along the line of clearing the receptor sites. And 26 years ago, I learned that the reason why I feel that Dr. Cook has put the oils, essential oils on there, because they aid firsthand in clearing our cells of the toxins that are built around it. And then when they're introduced with something better, they are able to help your body heal itself. But the essential oils that are in our program with the limbic arc, I think they're first forerunners when they show up on our scans, that they are helping. What do you think, Ron?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, you just reminded me of something. This is new research, and I shared some of this already with you, is that on this research, this doctor, and this is the MIT PhD, okay, that basically said that he discovered that vitamin A, now we all associate vitamin A as a vitamin that help enhance our eyesight, but he says not so. Vitamin A is probably the best nutrient that he has found that actually repairs and heals the immune system. In fact, he went so far as to say that it is one of those things that can help block the coronavirus, because what it does is we develop with vitamin A T cells and macrophages, which is a part of our immune system that kills viruses and such. And it's also what it really does, it builds a wall around the cells, a real thick wall around the cells that the viruses can't penetrate. Therefore, if the virus can't penetrate the cell, then it can't replicate and it kills it. So he says vitamin A is one of the most significant ingredients that people don't know about, that's so impactful in helping us fight off any pathogens like viruses. Now, as far as the essential oils, essential oils are probably, out of all the botanicals, there are exceptions, but they're probably the best. They're the most concentrated botanical that helps as an antimicrobial. Those that have the antimicrobial chemicals in there. Now, anything, by the way, anything can be blocked by toxins. I don't care what it is. If you have toxins in your body, you're still not going to have a complete handshake unless you can get through that. That's the reason why I believe we have a much superior solution, because ours is energy information. It's not physical. There's nothing there to block it. And so I think we're going to get the best results of accomplishing that. Now, down the road, you know, since we're talking a little bit of essential oils, down the road, talk to Dr. Cook, that we're going to create things like that allows us to go ahead and be able to, you know, have a type of, you know, have a type of essential oil that has the missing water-soluble components. All essential oils are oil-soluble because they squeeze the oil out of the plant through different processes, and then they throw away the rest of the plant. The rest of the plant has tremendous micronutrients in it, and they're water-soluble. No essential oil on a planet has that. When you combine them together, they are far superior. We can do that with our technology. We can oils and water don't blend well together, but with our technology, we can do that. So down the road, we will be putting out phyto-complete, what I call phyto-complete essential oils, that make the essentials that we have even far superior.
Absolutely. Before we close here, I just want to make sure if there's any guests that have questions, that we answer any questions that you have. So is there anyone here who's a guest on this call and has a question for Ron before we close up? I think your microphone is on mute, Joel.
Oh, okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, I don't necessarily got any questions. This information is just mind blowing. I'm still trying to mentally digest what I just heard, and it's just like, I don't know. I'm scared. But that's some good information, man. I'm glad. You know, I came to this meeting with you guys, and I look forward to working with every one of you guys.
Joel, glad to have you with us. Just know that we want to change that emotion of scaredness to happiness. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to have the best benefits there when you do that. This technology will allow it and help you to do that.
Most definitely. I appreciate the info.
Hey, Joel, this is
Yeah.
Desiree.
Hey, Desiree.
Don't be scared.
And Desiree, she's also from Kentucky too. So we got two Kentucky natives right
Joel
here.
is from Kentucky?
Oh wait, not from Kentucky,
Well,
but he's living
Chicago.
there.
I'm in Kentucky at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was skeptical at first too, because my partners, they were talking about this, and I was seeing their live videos and all of this stuff. And it's like, what is going on with this quantum energy stuff? So
Yeah.
I decided to trust my colleague, Malik, and I decided to give it a try. And so I did that, and I'm glad that I did. And then I used it on my mother. My mother is 84, has arthritis in her knees. So she always had constant pain. And I tried it on her, and the very next day, my mother was able to get up off her bed and walk down her hallway without any problems. See what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I believe
Yeah,
I seen a video that Malik shared with me yesterday, and I seen that testimony. And I mean, once again, blown away.
Yeah, it's amazing. Without having to take any type of physical product, this is amazing. This is amazing. Not to mention the protection that you will receive from the 4G and the 5G and the EMFs that we're exposed to daily.
Yes.
You got to protect yourself from that stuff. It's no joke out here. You got to protect yourself from that stuff. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, Desiree, we can spend a whole hour on that down the road. The electromagnetic impact, I've got a lot of research on that. It's not good, just so that you know that. And then, for example, I read an article the other day on, I think, CNN. That they're saying that there's a 7-year study that shows that electromagnetic 5G, in fact, does have no negative impact on humans. It's totally a lie. I get tons and tons of science from NASA scientists, okay, that basically show how negative it is on you in biology. I'm telling you, the things that you hear in the press is nothing but a scam. It's a lie. So and they want, you know, reason why, it's money behind it. They want to make money doing this, and they don't want to have people be fearful that this new technology is going to hurt them. It will hurt you. It's not good for biology. It's not meant to come together. So, but since it is, at least we have a tool here that's going to help neutralize it for us. So, maybe, hey guys, it's past the top of the hour. I have to leave to go to another Zoom meeting here. So,
All right, thank you, Ron, for joining us.
Ron.
see you guys.
Thank
All the
you, Ron.
knowledge that you share with us.
Thank you,
Everybody
Ron.
say bye to Ron.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you,
Ron.
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 Thank
Bye,
you,
Ron.
Ron. Peace and
Thank you.
blessings.
Peace.
Golden nuggets.
See you, Ron.
Golden nuggets, guys, and that's what we do here.
Thank you, guys.
Golden nuggets.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.
Anybody got testimony?